Over a year ago, my relationship got put in a bad place because my ex, 27M, broke up with 2 years prior, sent me a DM that I'm her baby dad. Am I the asshole for confronting my sister in front of everyone after discovering her involvement in a prank with my ex? Over a year ago, a toxic situation arose when my ex, who I had broken up with 2 years prior, sent me a message claiming she had a child with me. This was a lie, and I had already dismissed it due to the fact that her daughter was only a year old at the time. I told her not to contact me again, but she continued to reach out to my girlfriend, claiming I was the father of her child and that I was refusing to take responsibility. My ex started sending my girlfriend fake screenshots and real ones, making it seem like I was involved with her knowing I was in a relationship. My girlfriend was 6 months pregnant at the time and was already dealing with stress and hormones, which made the situation even more intense. The false information and supposed evidence led my girlfriend to doubt our relationship, and she even went so far as to stay at her parents' house for a few days. It wasn't until my girlfriend returned, and my ex apologized for her actions, that the situation calmed down. My girlfriend and I are now happy parents of a 7-month-old son. Recently, TIFU by offering a patient a blowjob NSFW obligatory didn't happen today, happened last year. I work as a community nurse. I had a patient with a wound on his buttock, not far off from his rectum. We were using a vacuum dressing on it, obviously a very hard spot to get a G. TIFU by making an ill-conceived comment to a patient NSFW. I'm still reliving the embarrassment of a moment that could have been averted. As a community nurse, I've had my fair share of awkward situations, but this one stands out. It happened last year, but the memory still haunts me. I was working with a patient who had a wound near his buttock, which made it challenging to secure the vacuum dressing properly. To achieve an airtight seal, I had to apply different types of paste and tape while ensuring the area was dry. In this situation, a blow dryer proved to be an essential tool. During my work, the patient and his wife were engaged in conversation with me, and I was trying to make light of the situation. When it came time to dry the area with the blow dryer, I made a thoughtless remark, saying, "Just going to give you a quick blow job." Fortunately, they didn't catch on to my innuendo, and I managed to save face. My face, however, turned a deep shade of red as I realized the gravity of my mistake. Unfortunately, this wasn't the only time in my career that I've let my words get the better of AITA for threatening to take legal action against my ex-wife's stepdaughter if she doesn't pay for the gift she broke. Here is the update. I, am 38, have been separated from my ex-wife for almost 14 years. She's married now and has 2 stepdaughters, this one involved the OL. Am I the asshole for threatening to involve the law against my ex-wife's stepdaughter for not paying for the gift she broke? I, am 38, have been separated from my ex-wife for nearly 14 years, and she's now married with 2 stepdaughters, including the one involved in this incident, Anna, who's 17, I think. Our 16-year-old daughter, Diane, has a strong interest in calligraphy. My parents gave her a feud, a Japanese calligraphy brush, as a gift for her excellent school performance. We recently returned from a trip and left them with her mother. Upon arriving home, I received a call from my youngest child asking me to come back. When I returned, an argument was unfolding, and my ex-wife and her wife were attempting to mediate. Diane claimed that Anna had taken her brush and broken it. However, Anna insisted that she had taken the brush with Diane's permission, and even though it was broken, she had offered to replace it with a cheaper alternative. My ex-wife and her wife downplayed the incident, suggesting it was no big deal since Anna had replaced the brush. I disagreed and insisted that either Anna or her family should purchase a new brush or AITA for not removing a tree from my property as my new neighbor demands. I live in my late grandparents' home. I've spent the last few years modernizing it and making it fit my style. There is one thing I've not touched, however, and that is the apple tree in the back garden. Am I the asshole, AITA, for refusing my new neighbor's request to remove a family heirloom tree from my property? I have been fortunate enough to live in the home of my late grandparents, where I have spent years restoring it to suit my personal taste. One feature that I have chosen not to alter, however, is the apple tree in the back garden, which has been a constant presence since my grandparents' arrival. This tree was originally from my grandfather's family orchard, and he planted it on the day they moved into our home. The tree holds a special place in my heart, as it is where I formed many cherished memories as a child, such as picking fruit and climbing its branches. When new neighbors recently moved in next door, they began to complain about the tree, insisting that it be cut down because it casts shade into their garden, where they hoped to install a hot tub. Despite my apologies, I made it clear that I would not be removing the tree, suggesting that they consider placing their hot tub in a different area of their garden. I had even planned to smooth things over by offering them a bag of fresh apples from the tree once it produces fruit. However, my neighbors became increasingly agitated and began to threaten me with AITA for kicking out my parents and sister for trying to control my life. Throwaway account because I don't want my family members, friends to find out. I, 22F, moved out of my parents' house last year to a condo that is 30 minutes away. I did this because I hate living with the. Am I the jerk for telling my family to leave after they interfered with my life? I'm using this throwaway account because I don't want my family members or friends to find out about this. I'm 22 years old and moved to a condo that's 30 minutes away from my parents' house last year. I did this because I couldn't stand living with them due to their controlling nature and insistence on imposing their traditional values on me. My older sister, who's 24, is also quite traditional and controlling. My parents have always been disapproving of me dating and engaging in premarital sex, but I've had boyfriends in secret. Only my younger sister, who's 16, knows about my relationships because we're close. I've been with my current boyfriend, 23, for 8 months now. When he came over to my place recently, my older sister showed up uninvited and caught us together. She was furious and scolded me for my supposed promiscuity, calling me a loose woman. I tried to explain that it was my boyfriend and that it wasn't her business, but she wouldn't listen. She then informed our parents, who were livid. They began lecturing me about my supposed TIFU by laughing at a cop. So about 20 minutes ago I was at the gas station and I noticed this sheriff in his car with the gas pump still in his tank, and I think to myself, no way he's gonna drive off with that still in. Sure enough he does. I'm laughing my ass off because my ill-fated encounter with a sheriff at the gas station has left me with a costly lesson. Approximately 20 minutes ago, I witnessed a sheriff's car still attached to the gas pump as he prepared to leave. I couldn't help but find the situation comical, thinking to myself that it was improbable he'd managed to drive off with the pump still in place. However, as he drove off without any issues, my amusement only grew. I eventually stopped laughing long enough to grab a drink from the convenience store, where I spoke with the attendant who was visibly shaken by the incident. She mentioned that the sheriff was a regular at the station, which only added to my amusement. Once I returned to my vehicle, I discovered my keys missing in my pockets and subsequently found them on the car seat. As I prepared to leave, I inadvertently left the gas pump still attached, resulting in its catastrophic detachment from the gas machine. I was left with the unpleasant surprise of having to pay a substantial $200 cash to repair the damage, a sobering reminder that my earlier laughter had not been a wise choice. This experience has taught me the importance of exercising restraint and not